Once upon a time there lived a beautiful queen in a country far, far away. The king had gone to war against a cruel wizard who would have enslaved their people, bringing all the men of the land with him. The women wept, and so too the queen. On her hand the great yellow diamond the king had given her weighed heavy. It was a precious stone, a symbol of the land's freedom and the king's high regard. Often weary, she sat alone in the throne room with her companions, missing the king. To her right sat the great eagle, Brazil, a fierce fighter who the king entrusted with the queen's safety in his absence. To her left was the brave cane corso Bran, a giant of his breed and the guardian of the queen's left. Despite her sadness, the queen visited her people daily, bringing words of comfort to the women and children left behind in the war. One day, hunting in the woods, she came across an old crone and helped her to her cottage. The crone was a wise woman of the land who, though blind, could see things in the future, and she told the queen that the war was ending. The wizard would soon be defeated, but before his armies were conquered, the king would be taken and imprisoned in a large round tower. The queen offered her ring to the wise woman with her thanks for this most blessed news. It was a great gift, but so too was the news that the war would end and that she might rescue the king. Soon, with only her companions, Brazil and Bran, and her page Alexa, she left to find the king, leaving the high vizier to guide the people in her absence. She rode long with Brazil, leading the way high above her, but by night they were still days away. She was about to settle down with her companions when she discovered that the unworthy vizier had sent villains to slay her so he could claim the kingdom for himself. Bravely they fought back the queen, drawing her sword, with Brazil and Bran at her side. Even the page, Alexa, though only a girl, joined the fight. Soon the attackers were driven off, wounded. Though safe that night, they rested uneasy. The queen knew now she was betrayed and must find the king. They had enemies both sides, the wizard abroad and the vizier at home. While the mist was still on the ground, they set out again, the queen nursing a wound in her side, but determined to find her king. Many days they traveled across bog and marsh and through overgrown wood till they were weary. Then one day they saw at a high tower in a deserted battlefield. So it is true, he is defeated then by the king's armies, but the king himself is captured in the tower. She called out, and getting no response, hacked at the door without success. She fell exhausted, but Alexa joined her, and Bran set his great weight too against the door, and it fell open with a mighty crash. The queen climbed the stairs, and finding the king tied in an upper chamber, thirsty and hungry, she pulled him free of his chains, and Brazil set up a mighty screeching, announcing the freeing of the king. With that the remaining soldiers of the kingdom gathered from the woods to rejoice at the saving of their kingdom, the defeat of the evil wizard, and the freeing of the king. A weary and tired troop made their way back to the kingdom, where the vizier had already fled, knowing he would be banished for his treachery. The people rejoiced to see the king and queen return with their husbands and fathers, and on the steps of the castle the old wise woman awaited their coming. As they arrived, beholding her, she transformed into the most beautiful lady of the lands, the sacred keeper of truth in darkness, and the queen bowed before her. "It was you," said the queen, and the lady bowed in turn. "Yes, and I am glad to welcome a brave king and a brave queen. The land will be blessed once more, the evil wizard is banished." And then, taking from her long white cloak the yellow diamond, the symbol of the land's freedom, she returned it to the queen. "Take it, O queen, you are a worthy bearer of the freedom of the land." And with that the kingdom celebrated, and for many generations were a happy and free people.